transportation is coming soon to the island of Kwaj, and Dr. Eric Miller, the Usaka environmental engineer and energy manager, is excited for its installation.
So I am proud to announce that we are installing a very green means of transportation here at Kwaj Atoll. It's a prototype concept that we developed along with our engineering brethren here at Kwaj for energy savings with transportation. We have a lot of transportation that is fairly green, but we thought we could go a lot greener utilizing an innovative technology which is currently under development here. A lot of people know it as the lazy river, but you can think of it as a mean green transportation machine as well. We didn't want to keep plumbing out all those electrons and energy for inflating bike tires. We thought we could do it a little bit greener, utilizing a floating river concept. We're going to go real green with this and use the good old gravity to our benefit.
The path of the river has yet to be determined. This is just the beginning phases, but that hasn't stopped the team from considering all the possibilities.
Yeah, well, there's lots of ways, obviously around Kwaj. We'll see some engineering analysis as far as where exactly that lazy river should end up. We think a nice slip and slide, maybe right out into the good old big blue of the Pacific Ocean would be a nice ending point.
Now, this isn't going to affect the current road structure on the island. Most pathways should be unobstructed with plans prepared on how to get around.
So we evaluated the tunneling concept, and for various safety reasons, we chose against it. There are a couple bridgeways to get over the roadways, so we'll have some accelerated areas of the slip and slide to get up enough speed. Think of it more as a jump than a bridge. Yeah, we'd encourage people to bring their own water weenie, so to speak. Just like Kwaj bikes, we envision a lot of unique Kwaj water transportation devices. People getting their own boats, means of flotation together. We will limit it, no great flotillas, can't barge up together, but I think water weenies are in play, kayaks, whatever your heart desires. As long as if it floats, it's got a place on the lazy river.
Currently, only the prototype is under construction, but after that is completed and well tested, the rest will follow soon after.
Yeah, it's a multi-million-dollar project, obviously, but we are hoping that it's complete, at least the prototype, after the drought, so we can go with the rains of Mother Nature to flourish our new transportation device here. We're hoping in the next, before year's end, we got that vision set on 2020, locking it in, so.
So keep an eye out for the completion of the prototype, and you may be one of the lucky few to test it out first. A new bird has been seen roaming around the island of an unusual size and color. So I visited someone in the environmental department that could tell me more about this unique bird. Leah Wilson is the Safety Environmental Supervisor for DI here on the island and the local lead on information concerning this bird.
So this bird that's been sighted around here, most recently around Christmas, especially whenever people were barbecuing in their backyard, it's called the Pacific Amazoria. It's a rather large red bird. It has a couple plumes of green and blue on top of it, but for the most part their full body is red. So the pandanus behind us is where they like to nest mostly. You can also see in some of the scaevola on the shore due to the protection that the pandanus can provide, as it has thorns and can protect them from other predators. Not that there are any, but there are a possibility of introduction and humans stumbling upon their nesting habitats. It's adapted rather recently to using Amazon packaging. Whenever people put out their Amazon packages on the curb to be picked up by solid waste, they disappear. And it turns out that they've actually been using them for their nesting material as well as to keep themselves dry and out of the elements whenever there's a strong storm. They're building forts, essentially. They're rather adapted to us humans being around here.
These birds aren't the brightest. As they grow up, they tend to follow other birds around, learning from them until maturity, when they go out on their own.
Whenever they're first born, they follow other birds around and learn to scavenge that way. And then as they get older and much faster, you can see them in the backyards stealing food off of barbecues. For some odd reason or another, they really like cheese puffs. If the warehouse is left open next to aphids, there will be 1 or 2 cheese puff boxes completely gone. And you can find the cheese puff containers around here just scattered throughout, and they seem to like that. I'm not too sure about being able to trap them, but right now they haven't been a problem or anything like that, so it'd just be for scientific purposes that we would want to trap them.
So the current understanding of how these birds end up migrating here is rather interesting due to the fact that they don't fly.
Kind of like the coconut trees around here, they just migrate as part of the sea currents and eventually end up on a new land. Because of their flightlessness and them wanting to fly and not learning from falling off the buildings, we call them Icarus. For the most part, these birds are flightless. They can essentially glide down kind of like chickens. Their wingspan is not long enough to hold their body, so you can see them jumping off of roofs every now and again in an attempt to fly like the other birds seen around the island, but they cannot. And they are always safe. They have a lot of plumage, so they always like just bounce right off. But they seem to want to really fly, so they try, but they can't.
If you see these birds out and about, don't be bothered by them unless you are grilling out or snacking on your favorite cheesy snacks. Then you may want to keep your guard up.
Get out of here! Time to go.
Is that a bird? A plane? No, it's your pizza. Aphids is introducing a new delivery system here on Kwajalein in an attempt to cut costs and introduce new technology here on the island. Meet the new Aphids delivery drone.
We're really excited here at the Kwajalein Food Court to be offering the new delivery drone system to our customers here on the island. We think that it's going to be a great benefit to the community.
Aphids employees are already undergoing training to learn how to pilot these drones for safe and efficient operation once it is introduced and implemented into the system at the end of the month.
Our associates are super excited to be offering this new delivery system. We will now be able to offer fresh meals delivered right to your doorstep or even the window of your BQ.
One challenge for the pilots is learning what window corresponds with what room number in each BQ to determine the correct room for delivery, seeing as we can't have a drone roaming in the halls for safety reasons.
Yeah, so far the bigger challenge is actually memorizing the housing setups, but so far the pilots are catching on pretty quickly. We should be starting this new delivery system by at least the end of April, depending on if we get our pilot certified or not. This should be a lot of fun with the actual technology that we're now trying to offer, because we all know that a place like this is nowhere compared to the States.
So keep an eye in the sky come the end of April for the new employees here on island.
I am not a vengeful guy. In fact, I'm the nicest guy you know. But I am not a morning person. When you get between me and my breakfast, you find out just how unbalanced my mind can get. This unfortunate soul is the next example we're gonna make. Antonio Leche Amador. Local guy. Keeps a low profile, but thinks he runs the island, or at least runs breakfast. He made the biggest mistake of his life that morning. Well, maybe 2 mistakes. The weirdo was shoving that cereal down his throat raw. I don't get it. If you're gonna rob someone, enjoy yourself. I tried offering this guy milk so he could at least enjoy his last meal instead of swallowing a bunch of shards of glass. Can you believe he refused? Telling me that.
I'm lactose intolerant.
I couldn't believe it. Kid's guts get twisted up every time he has a little dairy. Well, we're gonna twist up his guts, all right. I did a little research. Turns out, tough guy rides the bus to work every morning.
Hey, vato!
That's where you guys come in. Tomorrow morning, 06:15. 3 of you will meet here. Weapons and ammo on the table. 06:45, head a few blocks away from the bus stop. Our little friend usually shows up last minute, about 6:58. You will use this 2-minute window to perform the hit. Report to me once it's done. No mistakes. One very important thing. This is your ammunition. Gallons of intestinal kryptonite for this guy. I want you to teach this guy a lesson. I want you to make this guy suffer for the next 48 to 72 hours.
Kidding me? I just got these glasses.
He's here. Let's go.
This week we take a look at Quizzo, the trivia game sensation that's been sweeping Kwajalein. It started off slow and is now the talk of the atoll.
The wastewater treatment plant would like to welcome you to Quizzo tonight. We have a lot of new faces out there, a lot of newbies. We're gonna be rough on you, so brace yourselves. The team to beat, by the way, is I Fart Up Win.
Quizzo is its name, and it's been dubbed a trivia sensation by the meatheads that call Kwajalein home. We've interviewed Tina Turbo, who introduced the game to the community last month.
Quizzo is a trivia game for everyone. You don't need a PhD, you don't need a bachelor's, you don't even need a grade school education. You just have to know quirky trivia. Like how many pairs of pink pastel shorts local resident Chris Hines owns, or what kind of meat actually goes into missile burgers at the Outrigger.
The game is played in the intimate surroundings of the wastewater treatment plant's break room. Tonight, the host is Ralph Manchego. He has personally chosen all 3 of the topics. Personal interrogation.
First personal interrogation. Who is the turd who stole my bike from the Roy Air Terminal last week and left it at the Gabby Shack? I think I saw Sandra Garrison take it.
Community facts.
As of right now, how many residents on Kwaj and Roy are in the Witness Protection Program? Here's a hint. It's no less than 30.
And AFN commercials.
Question 7. What is the only AFN commercial to bring me joy? Ah, heck, I can't wait. I gotta show you now. Look at this beauty.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow.
Bam! Yo, Joey, what's up?
Mikey, what are you doing? You look ridiculous.
Bam! Yo, I'm a styrofoam cup, yo!
You're an aluminum can. Get that thing off your head and get in the recycling bin.
Yo, but I'm a styrofoam cup, yo.
Mikey, on Okinawa, cans, bottles, paper, and plastic need to be separated and put into recycling bins. No excuses.
Yeah, you guess you're right. There's no getting around it. Recycling is the right thing to do.
I tell you what, I came here 4 or 5 weeks ago when they first started doing Quizzo, and it was pretty stupid and slow. We Quizzo volunteers used to sit around and just do pickle races, waiting for at least a few suckers to roll in here for the 7:30 start. It's grown extremely fast since then. Now it's come to the point where every idiot with an early 2000s fashion sense wants to cram in here and put on a public display of their lack of knowledge of basic trivia. I mean, tonight, even before 7 o'clock, we had 2 teams fighting over the same table. Land Daverty of Team I Like Epoxy left here with a broken collarbone, and Hina Ramsden of Golf Masters is barred from the island for a month. Other teams like Tim's Pizzeria and Smells Like Jim Stepshoe came late, and there wasn't enough space. They had to split off into other teams. We had to bring more tables in, just so that we have enough seating for everyone. We're way illegal right now with the amount of people in here. It's getting real hot. It smells like BO, and it's kind of great.
One thing about Quizzo, you may know the answers to a lot of the questions, but before the evening is through, you'll probably learn a thing or 2.
The answer to number 8. So the Filth Fly Farm behind Tropics BQ was built in 1996, not 1997 as most folks on the island are led to believe. And that's just the filth flies. Don't get me started on the cockroaches. Yeah, host is a real blast. It's real fun, it's real rewarding. And for the questions tonight, I got most of the information for those by reading the back of cereal boxes. And of course the letters I stole out of people's P.O. boxes. I had to use a crowbar to break into those babies. And, I'm sorry to the post office, but it was worth it. It was worth it to make people laugh and think about the real stuff that's important in life. And for the AFN commercial questions, I basically just did nothing but lock myself in my room and watched AFN for 8 days straight. 8 days, that's a long time. And I think that had a lot to do with the personal interrogation, the personal attack questions I was able to come up with. That and, basically stripping away any kind of modicum of decorum I employ in any social setting and driving myself to lash out at people I know and love. I've been here nearly 25 years, 8 days watching nothing but AFN. I think I'm gonna go insane real quick.
The progenitor of Quizzo on Kwajalein told us some of the backstory of how the game made it to the island.
Before coming to Kwajalein, I lived in Philadelphia. And a couple of friends of mine, Deandra and Matt, came with me to play Quizzo at a local pub. It was a lot of fun. We had a few beers, a bunch of shots, way too much wine. And in the delirious hungover state I was in the next morning, I saw the pile of cash we had apparently stolen from a bank the previous night, and I thought, hey, I should flee the country. Found out about Kwajalein, and I brought Quizzo with me. Fits in well with this type of community.
Yeah, since this is a small community, I think personal vendettas play a big role in bringing people away from their radio sets and here to the Quizzo Dome. There are a lot of competitive types on Kwajalein, and I think the competitiveness really makes it an attraction here. And it's a tight community, because you know who your competitor is, and you know their weaknesses. I mean, where else can you just utterly crush that annoying neighbor and do it on a public stage, in front of his wife, in front of his coworkers, in front of his managers? It's a bundle of emotions rolled up into one, and it's a great time. I mean, it's a variety of different questions every time, and every time the members of the losing team are publicly shamed in the hourglass, and they have to do shifts at the Filth Fly Farm, and we can throw stuff at them while they work. It's neat.
It's the end of this week's match, and the Quizzo volunteers tally up the points. In a dank storeroom filled with whiskey bottles, no less. Debbie Dates Dallas won't take home the trophy this week. Instead, it has come down to two other teams. Smells Like Jim Stepchew and Dude, Where's My Bike? And Smells Like Jim Stepchew takes the win. These lucky Quizzo gladiators avoid the pain and anguish experienced by the team with the least points, and now pulling shifts at the Filth Fly Farm.
But you want to know what? 49ers are repeat champs, and they're coming back to kick somebody's butt this year. You know, so, hey, there's always next week.
Reporting live from the break room of the wastewater treatment plant, I am Randy Cucaracha for Window on the Atoll, CPN Kwajalein. Andy Spichemin, a renowned conspiracy theorist and the inventor of the bow tie, addressed the Kwaj community last Saturday. Trading his soapbox for a microphone and projector, he talked at length about his belief that Kwaj and Roy residents really are living in a Truman Show type of existence, with cameras and studio producers broadcasting their every move to viewers in the outside world.
There isn't anything that happens here that people aren't paying attention to, people aren't talking about. Somebody gets something new in the neighborhood here, everybody knows about it. Something happens on this end, everybody knows on this end.
Coming to terms with the Truman Show atoll reality is hard for some, Spichemin acknowledged.
It's the ultimate surprise party.
But he asked doubters to dig deep, see the signs around them, and open up to the uncomfortable truth that tens of millions of viewers the world over tune in 5 nights a week to watch our every movement, all the drama unfolding at every angle on both islands.
And I just can't think for 1 minute that you can be here, be at Roy, and not realize the microscope that you were under. And you think for 1 minute somebody doesn't want to know everything and anything that's going on here?
Others asked if this were true, where are the production facilities? Spichemin said the production is handled mostly remotely, outside of Kwajalein and Roy. The cameras are too small to be seen with the naked eye, of course, and plenty of producers and program staff call the shots from eBay, and also from inside Kwaj and Roy.
And I know you're sitting there going, but we're an island. But there's a bunch of you around here. And you're going, well, where would they be at? What about the city north of us here, eBay? There's 13,500 people here. And you got 12,500 that are located there. You know how I know that? I read your telephone book.
The conspiracy theorist added that there are some residents who are not who they say they are, that they have alternate identities, moonlighting as secret television producers under our very noses. He classified these secret TV production staff as threats living among us.
And I know you're sitting there going, but there's no threats there. You don't know who anybody is. Tell me, you're looking at me. I look like the concierge of a hotel. But I dress this way and I look this way for a number of reasons. I want people to realize you can't judge a book by its cover. You have no idea who anybody really is at any given time.
Spachemin emphasized that anyone on Kwaj and Roy could be a network agent, producer, caterer, or intern. Hard numbers on how many are out there are difficult to get, so you should trust no one, he said.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg, because we really don't know how many are out there. I would bet the bank that there's somebody here.
Spachemin ended his rambling diatribe with an appeal for residents to be anything but gullible.
Don't you trust anybody? Who do you trust? Yeah, I'm gonna get you so paranoid.
For AFN Kwajalein, I am Okra Jones.